We were talking ahead of time, and I think the first thing that certainly is heavy on Diana's mind and all of our minds are the wildfires out in California. So, Diana, why don't you just kick us off with just kind of what you've been thinking about, feeling, all of that?
Well, I had a really hard day yesterday when I opened up Facebook, which I don't often do, but people have been talking about Facebook, so I went over there and I started seeing all the messages from my friends, people I went to college with, people I knew from mostly when I was in my 20s and 30s who live in Southern California. And it was just really hard because I lived in Altadena for a year after I graduated from college. And so I happened to turn on MSNBC yesterday as well. And there was a reporter standing on a street in Altadena, and right behind that person was an apartment building in flames. And I'm about 90% certain that it was the apartment building where I lived when I was 22 years old. And so everything I was going to do, write a column about Jimmy Carter and all those kinds of things, just kind of fell to pieces as I stuck on Facebook and I tracked down all of my Southern California friends and saw how many people were evacuated and folks worried about their homes and churches and synagogues that had burned down. So what's going on there right now, since I lived in California, fires are something that we're acquainted with when you live out in the West. But this is a really different fire because it's in the middle of a major metropolitan area. And it's very rare for fires in California to be in big cities. There was one in Oakland about 3 decades ago, but it came down from the mountains and burned into the edges of the city. And that happens. But this, having fires start in cities, with just, huge populations and dense buildings and the whole thing is devastating and such a sign of where we are with climate change.